Hello Flosstube friends and welcome. I am Lisa and this is my channel Cross by Floss where I blab about life blabbings and share the love of cross stitch. So welcome. Thank you so much. Again, I've had a nice little bump in subscribers. You guys, I am just really and truly blown away by this community and the comments, which I will get to. Today is a non-worky day, so I am going to get to a good amount of the comments. I really am. I appreciate them so much. Yeah, it's getting time. Goodness sakes, I need to stop using that as an excuse. Anyways, so welcome if you are new, and I'm so happy that you found my channel. I do know that there are so many Flosstubers and wonderful Flosstubers to watch, and that you choose to watch me. I am just really honored by that. So for all new and returning subscribers, thank you. All right, so what has happened in the last, so wait a minute, I'm a day late. Normally I upload on Sundays, but today, again, because it was a non-worky day, and yesterday was July 4th, so I hope you all had a wonderful July 4th. My neighborhood is a little crazy, and they like to light off a lot of fireworks. You know, every Seahawks game, sometimes the Mariners games. We don't seem to be huge baseball fans in my neighborhood. We are definitely huge football fans though. And then, you know, January 1st for New Year's and for July the 4th, and like any excuse my neighborhood can have to blow off fireworks, apparently they take it. The fire department was very busy in here last night. No fires, I don't think, but, or maybe there were small ones, I don't know, but, I think someone, you know, blew off a body part, little finger, but casualties. Anywho, but because they were lighting things off come like 10 a.m. yesterday, all you heard was just pop, 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 and it was very, very loud in, the video, so I just decided to wait a day. So instead what I did was I took out a bunch of furniture yesterday and did some painting and staining, and yeah, so that's kind of what I did. All right, so the last 2 weeks, what has happened? So my daughter is going back to school to be an esthetician, and she wants to be I don't think it's called a medical esthetician, but she needs, it's kind of like a medical background to do certain things like Botox and things like that. And so she's been going to school, and because of that, she needs to have like models, right? So she has enlisted myself and her boyfriend and my oldest son, who is here, to come in and have either facials done or things. So far she's been doing the facials. I think this coming week is some waxing. I'm a little excited about that. However, because I have very sensitive skin and very thick hair, I don't get waxed anymore. I do sugaring because it's just a little more gentle on the skin. So she is actually going to learn sugaring, not through her school, but from an esthetician friend that she has, and taking a course through her. And so eventually the sugaring will happen. So I'm really excited. I'm going to get my face sugared back again. I really like that. It's just more gentler on your skin than waxing, and it exfoliates a little better. And I think that it doesn't take, the hair growth is maybe not as fast with sugaring as it is with waxing, at least in my experience. Plus, I look like, I mean, yeah, you can tell I've been waxed after I get waxed for days, because my skin is just all red. So yeah, Mr. G was home, not for the 4th of July. He was home for Canada Day though. So for my Canadian friends, happy Canada Day, past. But he was home for that. So that was kind of nice. And, he had to have a rental truck but they got his truck fixed. He was home for 3 days, I think. And, but just in time for the 4th of July traffic was his truck fixed, and they gave him another load to get out. So that's kind of what happened. We also, in the Pacific Northwest, we had Heatmageddon 2021. Now, for all of you who are like, okay, you people are whiners, in the Pacific Northwest, we don't typically get into the 90s. 90s is uber hot for us, right? And in my area, in where I live, we reached 114. 114 one day, and then the day before it was like 108. I think it was 107, 108, somewhere in there. Too hot. Now, I have air conditioning, so I'm super lucky. I have air conditioning, but I was listening to the radio, and they said like the top 3 states that, or the top 10 states that, you know, get hot very infrequently, so they don't have air conditioning units. Oregon was number 3, and Seattle was number 1. So go figure. But I do have air conditioning, so thankfully that was really nice. And it was so bad that my daughter came over with her dog and the kid. I mean, the kid was coming anyways, but it was too hot at their house. It was just too hot. And they have like 5-6 fans going. And so she came over for some air conditioning because it was too hot at their house. So yeah, so that happened. But then like come Tuesday, Wednesday, we dropped down to like 70. And then I was like, ooh, that's kind of cold. Because after you experience 114 and then you get down to like 73, maybe it was 78. It seemed a little chilly. I know, it's a no-win. It's a no-win. All right. What else? Okay. So, I had to go to Oregon. How long? Just after I uploaded my last video, that week, I think it was Tuesday and Wednesday, I went up to Oregon to, sign the lease, the 2nd-year lease of my son's apartment. And while I went, of course, I had the little with me because, you know, I look after her during the day. And so we road tripped and stayed at Uncle Mitchie's overnight. And so she got to see her uncle's house. And so that was kind of fun for her. She did not enjoy the drive, however, but we went to, the first stop I always do is Acorns and Threads, because he's still like an hour and a half away from Acorns and Threads. So, you know, it was over a 2-hour drive to Acorns and Threads, and then another hour and a half, actually longer because of traffic, to get to his house. So, but while I was at Acorns and Threads, okay, so I'm thinking, you know, the little is going to love Acorns and Threads like I do, right? Like I walk in and I have this moment, right? Like, I'm here, like at my L&S, Threadneedle Street, I feel like I'm home. Like as soon as I hit the door and I smell all the like patterns and stuff, there's a smell to an L&S. And I love it. I feel like I'm home. But at Acorns and Threads, I'm just like, because you just have this moment. I thought she would have that moment. No, girl did not. No, she did not. And I mean, I couldn't even stay, you guys. I thought we would be able to peruse things and she would be like, oh, Grammy, can you get this? I really like this. Or, I mean, she liked some of the flosses that were, or the threads that were sparkly and stuff. And I'm like, Grammy doesn't use those. But she was not, you guys. My little artist heart was just like crushed a tiny bit. I was like, I don't know what's happening. But I did pick up a few things. Oh, goodness sakes. Did I leave them somewhere? Just hang on. Okay, found what I was looking for, which is part of haul. So, but while I was there, I picked up a few things, of course, but I also picked up, I'll talk about this in a little bit, but what I did was I dropped off some of my finishes and to be fully finished by the fantastic finisher at Acorns and Threads. And so I think I dropped off like 6 pieces. And so I have a little buy me a coffee link in my description below, and anything that comes from that, which by the way, thank you so much, will go towards the finishing costs. So I'm excited to see what she comes up with. And but that was one of the main goals, to go there, as well as to pick up a package for something I'll talk about in a little bit. So that was kind of my Acorns and Threads. And then, you know, we went and traveled on to my son's place, and all to find out that I could have done everything online. Like that morning, I get a text message saying that this is here and you can sign online. And so I did all that, you know, after I read the document and everything, and I signed it all up. And then I get a call like 20 seconds later, and she's like, oh, I see that you've electronically signed. You don't need to come into the office anymore. And I'm like, but I drove all the way up here specifically to sign this lease, and you guys told me I had to come into the office. I mean, it was okay because I still had to go to Acorns and Threads anyways to pick up my package and drop off my finishings. So so it was totally fine. Plus I got to see my son. So that was nice, and pretty much did all of his dishes. What is with boys? Like, I do his laundry because he brings that up here for me. You know, he comes up every couple of weeks and spends the weekend, and I do his laundry. But then I went to his house, and I swear every dish he had was like all over the place. Now this is an older unit and it does not have a dishwasher, so he does have to do his dishes by hand. But good night, nurse. Boy. At least I know they're clean though, so there's that, right? Okay, and then okay, plants. Okay. So you know that I'm trying to green thumb myself and keep my plants alive. I did have another air plant death. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Maybe they're not getting enough light. I don't know. Anyways, I've been watching some videos on what else to do, and I'm hoping that maybe, and one of them was in that new package of air plants that I bought. One of those died. It was very sad. Anyways, I belong to a couple of Facebook groups, like the Trader Joe's plant group and the big box store plant group, and that's a rabbit hole, you guys. So I was on Facebook one day, which I don't typically go on. I really don't. I'm much more in Instagram than I am on Facebook, so I don't post a lot in Facebook. I don't go on Facebook very often. And but I just happened to be just scrolling through, kind of catching up on several weeks worth of stuff, and somebody posted that at Lowe's they had like all of these spectacular plants for fairly reasonable amount of money, plus a bunch of Costa Farm plants came in, and apparently Costa Farm plants are like uber great. Well, I didn't realize that, and I bought quite a few from Home Depot, and they're doing pretty well except for one I'm having to baby along, but anyways. But at $5 a plant, that's pretty, like, you know, to learn about it and hopefully keep it alive. I don't feel that, you know, if it does die, I haven't invested like, you know, $80 in a plant, right? So anyways, I went to Lowe's thinking, and this was on Saturday. So I did like a loop basically of all my chores, and I went to Lowe's first. Well, I walk in, and in their foyer, you know, area where the carts are and everything, they've got like a ton of, and these are all indoor plants. And so I was in heaven, and I'm practically like plant hoarding at this point, right? Like I have so many plants in my cart. And I didn't bring my phone in specifically so I could not call my daughter and go, hey, which plants do you want? So that, you know, because I end up paying for those plants. Again, at $5 a plant, it's not a big deal. But I did buy some hanging ones that were all viney whatevers, and they were $20. And, you know, girl, no. And so, so then I'm like, I wonder what they have in the store, right? Because clearly I don't have enough in my cart. So I go on into the store and I see clearance. I'm like, ooh, what's that? So then as I'm heading towards the clearance, I see a cart and it's got all these dead plants in it, like dead. And I'm thinking, oh my God, are they trying to clearance those plants? No, they had put those ones in the cart because out of the clearance plants, they were not doing well. So they were clear. He was in the process of, you know, basically clearing up the clearance. So the plants at certain prices, like it was almost half off a plant. So I was like, yes, please. So I found a whole bunch more plants. And so, yes, I did buy my daughter some of those. Okay, but long story short, I go on up to the cashier, right, with my, I think I bought like 23 plants. I'm not even joking. And they weren't little. Some of them were little, but I got a lot of hanging and I bought a lot. Anywho, I get on up there and, you know, we start doing the half off ones first, right? Because I'm the clearance ones first. And then I'm going through, and I had actually put 2 plants back. I said to her, I think actually I'm getting kind of up there, so I'm going to put these ones aside because I may already have them, or, you know, whatever, buy them next time. And, but I had a lot. And so I was like, oh, I'll just put these away. So we put them over to the cashier next, and we're ringing them up. And she says, oh, and these ones are on sale too. And I'm like, oh no, these were just did the clearance ones, and then these ones are regular price. And she insisted. She said, no, they're half off. And I'm like, what? Because I don't want to be a greedy pants, but now I want to go and get more plants, right? Because I'm like, is she making a mistake? And I said, no, honey, I'm fairly certain that these were were the new plants and they're not clearance. And she says, oh, no, they're all on sale today. And I'm like, okay, so you know those 2 I just put over there, I'm going to get those ones back because I ended up with 23, 24 plants for $135, including tax. You guys, it was gross. I had 3 huge plants. Now they were the half off. Well, okay, everything I bought was half off, but they were the legit clearance ones, like a rubber plant for $12 and a huge fern for $15. Like it was just wow. So now I've got all those plants. They're all in quarantine because, you know, bugs. And but how bad is this? I have 2 showers and a bathtub. They're all covered with plants. They all have plants in them. I have a utility sink. It has plants in it. And then I've quarantined a couple others, like on my table. I have a big table. And yeah, so a lot of plants are happening. And I did give one to my daughter. It's fine. She's having some watering problems over at her house. She's working from, I mean, she leaves her house at 7 o'clock in the morning and she doesn't get home until almost 10 o'clock at night because she's working full time and then going to school after work. So, you know, so I go over there and water her plants. But yeah. So, but in the meantime, like I said to her when she came over the other day, I was like, do you think that it's bad that I have like just a cupboard designated for like plant things, you know, plant fertilizer, water bottles, like all the kind of, you know, neem oil, that kind of stuff. And she's like, no, but in the background, we hear this little teeny tiny voice pop up and go, yes. Apparently the little thinks that it's quite excessive that we have a cupboard dedicated to plant stuff. I don't know who she is. And then do you guys think that it's really bad for me to want Mr. G to find like Home Depots and Lowe's wherever he goes on the different states? Because each state seems to get like different plants, right? And I'm like, how bad would it be to ask Mr. G to go and get I need you to FaceTime me while you peruse all the plants and then bring them home for me. I don't know how that would go in a truck anyways, because, you know, bumps and... I wonder if I could put a seatbelt up in the top bunk and some carts, you know, some bins, and have him like... He would kill me. Anyways, okay. All right. How about we get into stitching? Because, you know, I don't know how long that blabbing was, but I told you I had a lot of blabbing today. Did I tell you that in the beginning? Sorry. Maybe I should have said that. Okay, stitching. I did do some stitching this week, so, or the last couple of weeks. So the one that I have really been working on a lot is this Ink Circles Reflections of Canada piece, and this is my focus piece. So this piece I do at least 2 threads in every night, if not more, as I can. And I'm telling you, just doing that has been such a great motivator. So look at how much I've gotten done. Oh, I think I forgot to take a before picture in my last video. That's where I had ended. Like, I think that, okay, so this is all new. I finished up over here pretty much. There's just some little motifs that need to go in here and here and a couple up in here. But I pretty much fixed all of this. So really, this is the bottom of the pattern. So I am more than halfway done. And then there, you know, I just have to finish the top. Basically this area here is what goes down here. And so I loved this piece, you guys. And I actually had to go into my L&S to get some more Turkish Red Weeks Dye Works threads. And that turned into a rabbit hole there too. But because when we calculated it, I think Denise and I calculated it that I was going to use 1/1 on this. And I think that this is done on an 18 count. I think it's 18 count. But I used 2/1. So of course I ran out of thread. So I had to go in, and get some more of that. So that was project number 1. Okay, and then I do Mira Mondays, and I have a hashtag for that on Instagram, which is Mira Monday Stitching. And so I would love it if you would come and join if you are a lover of Mirabilias and you're looking for an excuse to stitch on them. Don't be afraid of a Mira. Yes, they're big. Yes, they have lots of colors. Yes, they have beads. But there are no specialty stitches, at least not in any of the ones I've done so far. And, you know, there's a little bit of back stitching so that you can, there's a little bit of back stitching. And she uses the dreaded Krynic. So, but, I mean, if you can get over all that, you're good. It's just crosses, you guys. It's just floss and crosses, just like you do on any other pattern that you do. And then you add some spectacular sparkle and beads. And beading is not that, it's not that hard. It's really not. And if you want to practice on something like a Mill Hill kit, just a tiny little Mill Hill kit that gives you the beads and everything, you'll see how to bead. It's super easy, nothing to be afraid of. So I would love if you would like to join, and you can tag me, Cross by Floss. I'm cross_by_floss on Instagram. And you can tag me in there or use the hashtag Mira Monday Stitching, and I'll link all that down below. So last week, the last Monday, I chose red, and really because I had posted I post on the hashtag Mira Monday Stitching. I just do it's Mira Monday, you know, and what will you be stitching? And I put in my comments that I had a couple, and one of the commenters said, please choose red. So I was like, okay, I'll pull out red. So this is Red by Mirabilia. I love her. And that is what I've gotten done on her so far. And that's just on a Monday stitching. So I really did a lot of red. And so I pretty much did most of that on that Monday last week, really. So, and this is done on a 16 count colonnade by Color and Cotton. And I really like this fabric. So she has been a joy to stitch, but she is going to go away for another Monday because I have a different one that I'm going to work on today. So that's Red, and Red is housed in this lovely big Garon toten bag. Because it's got, I bobbinated the threads on these ones from long ago when I was bobbinating. And then 2 weeks Monday, I had done some more on Fairy Flora. I really enjoy Fairy Flora. I don't know what it is about her, but she has a lot of pinks and purples in her. And I think I've explained before, I'm not a total pink and purple person, but there is something about Fairy Flora that I really don't want to put her down. And I love stitching on her. Even on this, this Ada is not fantastic. I mean, it's very stiff, very stiff. And I mean, it goes in my Q-snap. I wish that maybe the edges were serged, because this is one that, was it this one? No, I think it's a different one that I may not have enough border for, that's comfortable to me. I like a 3-inch border, but I think she's okay. But, you know, if my sides keep fraying, anyways, this is what I've gotten done on her. Is she not beautiful? So I think, what did I do on her? I think I added a lot more of the pinks in here. And did I maybe start more over there as well? So that's what I got done on one of those, that Monday as well. And this is done on Touch of Gray, 16 count Ada. And like I said, it's really, it's coarse. So, which is fine. And it is housed in this pretty little bag that I got from Celeste of Celeste Creates on YouTube. And occasionally she'll post some bags that she makes, and I was very lucky and was able to get a few. Okay, the next project that I worked on was one of my Whip Go pieces. I had another Whip Go fail. Kind of a Whip Go fail. There were 2 numbers called. One was the Ouija Halloween from Tiny Modernist, and I think I got like 8 hours of stitching in that one. I'm trying to go for 10. I don't know what happened, but clearly something happened and I didn't get all my hours in. Anyways, the other one that was called was this little House Needleworks Melicent Turner sampler. And it's a really pretty little sampler. And so I worked on this. So when I went into Acorns and Threads, I brought this with me, and because the thread that I was using is not showing up. the light thread was not showing up on this fabric. And so I took it in, and one of the lovely ladies went over to the floss wall and picked out 2 different beiges, ecru's, whatever, for me to choose from. And so I picked the Weeks Dye Works. I took both. One was a, oh goodness, I don't remember. Anyways, one was Weeks and one was Classic Colorworks probably. And so I ended up with this one. And so I started stitching. How come you can't see? There we go. So I started stitching in the alphabet in the light colors and started one of the borders. So that's what I got done on that one. And I did do my 10 hours on this one. So this will get put away. This is being called twice so far. So it's going to go away until I bring it out at some point again. I don't know when. She's not on a top priority for me. There's so many others. And that is housed in this beautiful bag that I won from Cheryl and Colleen of Stitching with the Sisterlies. And it was like in one of their very, very early, like when they were starting Flosstube. And so I won this bag and I love it. It's had a couple of different charts in it over the time that I have owned it. So I'm fairly lucky there. And then the last one that I stitched on, I feel like I'm missing something, but I don't know what. I try to put my stuff kind of in an area, but things like to move. I don't know how, because I live on my own, for goodness sakes, practically. I don't know how it moves. I'm blaming Odin. By the way, I'm sorry, I did not mention this, but he's still a little drugged from yesterday. And let me tell you, yesterday was the best day that we had for fireworks when I had to give Odin and Maddie, the other little puppy, she's not a puppy, she's old, dog, some happy meds, because the poor dog, like the day before fireworks were going off in our neighborhood, just random, and he was beside himself. He was just beside himself. So last night, before the real fireworks happened, I gave both of them some happy pills, and it was the best night ever. So he's still sleeping it off a little bit, so you'll hear him snoring in the background. I apologize. Anyway, the other one that I did was this Blackbird Designs, what's it called? Basket of Memories. I can't read backwards. Basket of Memories. And I did not finish this. I don't know why it's taking me so long. Oh, and I have a thread. We're just going to have to excuse that. So I have gotten a little bit more done here. I believe that I'm working this on I think it's 22 count. I'm fairly certain it is. If not, it's 20 count. And it's just a piece that I tea and dyed myself. And I'm having some problems with slipping stitches. And so I'm trying to go really slow. Plus, I'm doing this 2/1 but 10th stitch. And so it looks pretty good, except for the, what did I cross? I crossed I made full crosses on the M, and I'm going to go back and do it on the R as well, just to have them stand out a little bit. But I like it on the M a lot, and it looked really good. But yes, I'm having some slipping stitch issues, and yeah. But it's very pretty, and I cannot wait to have this finished. And look, my back doesn't look so bad either, even though this is I don't typically work on anything higher than an 18, but I'm trying to branch out a little because there's a lot of samplers that I like that have over 1. And I'm not going to linen. I'm just not. So it is not for me yet. And especially if I'm already having slip stitches here and I hear linen, I don't know that for sure because I don't work on it. But so, okay, that were my whips. There's no finishes, no, okay, so the other thing that happened was, one of the reasons why I went to Acorns and Threads was because Acorns and Threads had a 25 anniversary bash, and it was an online festival through Zoom. And I chose to, instead of having my kit mailed, I chose to go in and get my kit because I try and go to Oregon at least every 6 weeks, if not every couple of months. And so anyways, that happened last Sunday, not the 4th, the one before, and which is one of the reasons why I did not do a Stitch With Me video, because I was in a Zoom with Liz Matthews. So the chart for, let me take it out, the chart that Liz designed for Acorns and Threads exclusive 25th anniversary bash, which means that they've been in business for 25 years, was this beauty right here. And what I love is this little place here has an A and a T for Acorns and Threads. How cute is that? And then Liz said that she also put some acorns. Oh, there's acorns in the border. How cute is that? And then spools of thread in the tree. And these are oak leaves. I don't know. The outdoor stuff is not really my thing. Well, barely the indoor plants either, but I know them a little more, not the outdoor. So anyways, that was the pattern that Liz created for Acorns and Threads 25th anniversary bash, which is really beautiful. And my understanding is that Liz will be releasing this chart sometime in the future, but it won't be, she'll be making some changes to it because this was personalized for Acorns and Threads. So it is still kind of a little bit of an exclusive chart. So that, that is so cute. I love that. So the Zoom meetup was so much fun. Not only did we get to hear all about, you know, things from Liz, but Janine, the owner of Acorns and Threads, and her staff, they did such a really, really great job. It was a lot of fun. And I think I am in the fall Zoom meetup class, whatever thingy, which again, I get to go in and pick up my kit when that's ready. So, but it was a lot of fun. And so you received the threads and the pattern and the fabric and some goodies and all kinds of stuff. There was lots of raffles, and my number was so close. So, but it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. It was the first time I did it. I had signed up for a previous class but I wasn't able to make it. And, so it was fun to experience this really for the first time on that level. So that was fun. And then, okay, so you guys, I just have to, before I get into haul, I want to just take a couple of minutes and just say how wonderful the stitching community is and how very generous the stitching community is. And I have a few viewers who are, I mean, all my viewers are fantastic. And I have a few who just show their appreciation, whether it's in the Buy Me a Coffee app or reaching out and sending me stuff. So I got some happy stitchy mail, which just, I mean, I was blown away. So the first one I want to talk about was I received a really nice little card for the 4th of July. So thank you, Robin. This was really, really nice and very much appreciated. It was a nice little, I try and send out little happy cards. I haven't done it for the last little while. So it's nice that was in my mailbox. So it made me very happy. So thank you. And then I had a viewer reach out and say she knew my love of mirrors and that she had gone to a thrift store and she had found a couple of mirrors and would I like them? And I was like, yes, of course. And she's like, and if you have them or you don't want them and want to do them as a giveaway, you totally can. And I'm like, I don't have them. So they staying with me. So anyways, the two that she sent with a really lovely note was this one here, which is Ring Around the Rose Tree. And funny enough, I had been looking at this pattern as well. And I just think that it's really, really cute. Really, really cute. These 4 little girls. You know, I may even personalize that and do my mom, myself, my daughter, and my granddaughter, and the hair color, because each one of us are different. So I might do that, and that will kind of personalize this just a little more. And then the other one that she sent was Waiting for Ships. Now, Waiting for Ships is one of the first mermaids that I actually saw, and I never did buy her because I was intimidated by the amount of Mill Hill beads that were on there, the beading. And like I think I've explained before, the treasures are kind of expensive. Kitting up some of these Mirabilias can be expensive, but it's an investment. They're pretty, and you know, when you get them done, I mean, every stitch that you do is an investment, right? Because even if you're doing them in, not even if, but when you do them in DMCs still cost, you know, and the cost of fabric. So while I believe that it's a reasonable craft to do, or hobby to do, because there's certainly others that I've done that are much more expensive, but it still can get on up there, plus your time, right? So so when I saw this one, I love mermaids, and I don't know why I have not bought every single mermaid. So when this lady, wonderful viewer, mentioned it, I was like, oh yes, please. I will take her. So thank you so much for reaching out. I mean, again, like I've said, this community is just so very generous, and I just can't say enough. It's just so sweet. And then I got it was a total surprise. So I love Denise of Goose Design Bags, and she had posted on Instagram a new bag, and I was like, oh, have I ordered that one already? I don't know if I've ordered it or not. So then she messages me and she is like, you know, would you like this bag? And I'm like, yes, please. And so it turned out that one of my viewers, who I chat with on Instagram quite a bit, had said, I would like to send this to her. So they made arrangements and had it sent to me. And so along with a really sweet little note that came in the comments of the receipt. And so a huge thank you, because when I opened this, I wasn't expecting it. And so that was really, it was just so generous. And so when I opened it and I saw this bag, I was just, I cannot tell you how it just touched my heart. Like I told her, it touched my heart. And I just, yeah. Anyways, it's a tomato bag. So the inside is all tomatoes. And then the beautiful polka dots on the outside. And what really got me was the green zipper. I mean, it matches so perfectly with the tomato. I mean, it just is so striking. And then it also came with a pal with a green heart. And so thank you so much, not only to my special viewer, you again touched my heart, but also to Denise for making it happen, and for making such beautiful bags. So I will link Denise's Etsy store down below, and you guys all know how much I love a Denise bag. So so the happiest of stitchy mail in the last week and a bit. Again, so generous, and I was just so blown away. So thank you so much. Okay, so how about we do haul, and then I've got spotlight on a stitcher, and then I think I'm done. Okay, haul. There's not a whole lot. So first I'll do my of the month clubs. So this is Color and Cotton, June's floss of the month. And that's what they look like. So this one here is Sahara, this one is Autumn Foliage, and this one over here is Slate. So those are super pretty. So that was the floss of the month. I only have 3, I just do the 3. And then the fabric of the month was Fieldstone, and it is, I'm in their neutrals club, and it's a really nice gray. And I'm not even kidding. I think that Waiting for Ships is going to look fantastic on this. So it was like it was meant to be. Okay, then the other of the month club is Brandy from Be Stitch Me. And if you guys have not received your fabric or flosses yet, don't pay any attention to what's happening. Okay, so here are the flosses of the month. Here, let me, oh, I can't even flip them over. Let's see here. Oh, that's hard. Okay, this one is called Espresso. This one here is Cold Foam. This one is Light Roast. Mocha. I mean, she had me at coffee, seriously. And then Java Hut. Love it. So those are the flosses, and her flosses are silks, and they're beautiful. Oh, I'm sorry, my ear, I think I have another ear infection. Not happy. Okay, and then the June fabric of the month is called Grog. Yeah, that's a really good representation right there. So pretty. Yeah, so pretty. I love all of Brandy's stuff. Okay, and then the other thing, okay, I'm so happy that I am taping today, because as of, you know, when you do the Garon Toten bags, they have asked that people do not post to social media or in their videos before the 5th, so that everybody who is part of the month club has a chance to actually receive their items before it is shown all over the place. And so not to spoil the surprise. And so yesterday being the 4th, I was like, oh, I don't want to make Gary and Ronnie mad. I don't want to be that person. So I was really happy that those darn fireworks were going off in my neighborhood and I wasn't able to do a video. So it's all good. So today I get to show it because it's the 5th. This is the bag of the month. And how spectacular is this? It's so pretty. So I went down a size. Ronnie's got 2 sizes of bags that you can choose. And then the sparklers for inside. So pretty. So pretty. I mean, and he does such a beautiful job of sewing up the bags. So they had posted on Facebook the other day that they still had a couple of Washington, they have the state bags, and that they had a couple of Washington ones left. And I was like, where was I through the bag sale? Like, what was happening? Anyways, I got one of the bags. So it's coming with some other stuff. So next video, I'll have a couple more things in haul. Okay, then, like I mentioned, I had to go into my L&S to get some more Turkish red floss because I was missing, well, I was running out. And while I was there, on the counter was the new Halloween, just cross-stitch Halloween 2021 edition, and it was sitting on the counter, and it had just come in the mail that day. So it was fate, you guys. I had to go in for floss, and I came out with a couple more items and this awesome book. So I did a video, a flip through video on this the other day, I think on Saturday. And so if you are interested and would like to see what is in this magazine, I have done a flip through. If you are waiting for yours, don't watch it because there's spoilers, of course. I went page by page. There's some beautiful charts in there. So that was a lot of fun. And then she's got a couple of the new Mill Hill kits. And so I picked this one up for my Halloween tree. Hopefully I will get this done. These are fairly easy kits, and because there's only 2 colors, I will actually use the floss. Most of the time I don't use the floss in the Mill Hill kits because I can't figure out what the colors are. Light green, semi-light green, medium light green, part dark light green. That doesn't do it for me. The DMC number does, and so I just go to my floss, use that, and yeah. But because this is only orange and black, I'm going to be able to do it. So, and it's got beads. Okay, and then Kathy from Hands On Design has done a new series called Lick the Bowl. Goodness sakes, Lisa. No, it's called The Counter Kitchen. The kitchen, oh, for goodness sakes. It's called the Kitchen Counter Series, and this is Lick the Bowl. So it says, life is short, lick the bowl. And I love everything about this. I love the colors. I love everything about this. And so she, there's 3 parts, and then in each one has a bonus charts, just like the laundry series did. And so if you are looking for that, her first chart's out. So cute. And then Hands On, oh, that's really bad glare, sorry. Hands On Design, not Hands On Design, that was just it. Hands Across the Sea Samplers has started making smaller books for some of the charts that can accommodate the small books. And it's a wire flip kind of book. And all the information that has been in prior books is in here. The only difference is I think that Nicola explained that these were kind of the smaller charts. When she does the large books, she can't do those in this kind of binding because there's the middle, you know, the middle chart, or in the middle of the book where she's got the beautiful picture of the chart in there, and it would ruin the integrity of all of that. And so I'm just excited to see these in here. These are a little smaller designs. I think I mentioned that. But anyways, I got this one. This is Harriet Goddard, 1817. And she is a pretty, oh goodness, she's a pretty sampler. So she'll probably get started in one of my Stitch With Me videos here soon. Okay, and then when I went to Acorns and Threads to pick up my stuff for the Acorn Bash, or the 25th anniversary bash, I also picked up the Primitive Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine, the latest one. So that was cool. And then Mirabilia on the 15th of June had released a new pattern, and it is called Twisted Mermaids. And she had that, Janine had that up right front and center in the new patterns basket. And so I grabbed her because as soon as I saw it online, I was like, oh, she purty. They're purty. Yeah. I mean, look at the colors. So pretty. Plus their faces are gorgeous. So I got that, and then she only had one of the Caron water lilies. So I picked that up. She's got the other ones on order. And then from Country Stitchers, I believe it's Country Stitchers. I don't remember who I heard this from, but I was watching somebody's Flosstube and they said, oh, I bought this on Country Stitchers. And I was like, well, I better get on over there and see what they got. So I purchased two different designers, and as far as I'm concerned, you should buy them all. To me, it's buy all the Plum Street. So this is Sampler House 1. Oh, I'm so sorry for the glare. So I picked up that chart. This is a Country Winter. Oh, a Country Winter. And then Blackberry House. Now I've seen this done. I think Kim of the Contented Stitcher has done this. Hi, Kim. If not, I apologize. Maybe she's getting to it. I don't know. I'm pretty sure she showed it though. And I was like, oh, so I had this on my wish list of things that I really wanted. And she's a big girl. She is she's not that huge. She's 167 over 244. That's not that huge. I say that when it takes me years to do. And then buy all the Blackbirds. So I got the Fruitful Vine, which is a Loose Feathers Abecedarian series. And I'm trying to collect all of these Abecedarian series. So this is 6. And then It's Spring Fever, which is for the birds. I think that this is a really nice complement to the Light Upon the Lawn. And then Hear the Crickets Sing. And Honeybee. So I got those from, just want to make sure that I do have the name of the store right. Yes, Country Sampler. So I got all those. All right, this has turned into a little longer of a video. I apologize. The first thing is there is a new Stitch Along, and I don't know if you guys have done these, but Stitch Alongs, it's a free one, which is nice because not only do you get to see kind of what the designer is like and what they have and their aesthetics, but it's a free sale. And so you all know that I'm all about Halloween, and I found this designer because of Halloween. I think that this is the 3rd, maybe the 4th year that she's done this Stitch Along for Halloween. The only way you can do it is to sign up online. I'm going to link that information below, but it's Stitchonomy. And she's done the Plant Sal series. There's 2 of them, house plants. which are awesome, and I'm going to be doing for my daughter for Christmas. I'm pretty sure she doesn't watch these videos, so I'm safe. But I can't post to IG because she does see that. So I'm gonna have to make sure she doesn't watch my videos. But anyways, Stitchonomy, if you go to her website, which I will link below, and then you can sign up for the SAL. And it is free, but you do have to sign up by a certain date, and I believe it's September 1st. After that, then you can pay for it somehow. I don't know all the things because I always do the free version. I always get in the free thing. Okay, and then the last little bit of haul that I wanted to show you guys was I bought this off of Amazon. And this actually I saw on Ozark Stitcher or Ozark Stitches Instagram post, and she had been enabled by another Instagrammer. But when I saw it, I was like, ooh, and she's like, I'm gonna put my sulky threads in there. And I was like, oh, okay, that's a really good idea too. But I'm actually going to put my weeks and my Gentle Arts threads in here. Mine has the little, I did notice that some of them were painted like this, or it's a decal, or I think it's painted, on here, but mine is the actual little, tabby thing. They're not, I mean, quality control is not awesome, because as you can see, they're not very even on there, and I can't even fix them because then I'd leave a hole. So I'm just going to leave it as is. But I can put a little tag in there and say what it is. So I purchased that. I did buy the 4 drawer. There's a 3 drawer, a 5 drawer, and I think that there's even a bigger one. But I mean, it's a decent size inside, so I think that it will fit. It will fit my flosses quite nicely. I'm going to actually put a liner on the bottom though, so that in case there's any like oils or anything in here, they're not gonna seep through into my threads. And it's a little rough, so nothing will snag. So I'm gonna put some liner on the bottom of my drawers and the sides too, just because I'm a little weird like that. I can't remember what I paid for this, but I did buy it on Amazon, and I'll link it below. I want to say it was probably $40, somewhere in there. But it goes in my croffice quite nicely. It's all themed kind of in that same style. So, okay, how about, I think that is it until we get to Spotlight on a Stitcher. Let's see. Yes, Spotlight on a Stitcher. So this Stitcher, actually, she has shouted me out a couple of times, and I did not realize that because I had not seen her videos because she's new to me. And I found her because of Instagram and Mira Mondays. And she had commented and said, oh, she wanted to join Mira Mondays and she couldn't wait. And I was like, that's fantastic. So, you know, we friended each other, and so then I started watching her videos. She's got 6 videos. Her name is Memphis Sarah E. And she's the same on Flosstube as she is on Instagram. So Memphis Sarah E. And I will link this below as well. So I'm going to read from my notes because, you know, old and forgetful. She's from Memphis, Tennessee, of course. And she's just super cute. So she's married to her high school sweetheart. And they have 2 children, one daughter who is engaged, and I guess they really like the fiance, so their future son-in-law, so that's awesome. And then a son who is in high school. And as a profession, she is an MRI tech, which, you know, because my daughter is also in the medical field, I was like, oh, that's awesome. And so that's her full-time job. And then she's got the cutest puppy named Winnie, adorable little Shih Tzu. And so Winnie makes appearances in the videos. So she's super cute. So Sarah fell down the Flosstube rabbit hole and cross-stitch rabbit hole last summer. She actually started with diamond painting, which is, I actually was a stitcher first, went to diamond painting, and then came back to stitching. Well, I was doing both at the same time. I like the instant gratification of diamond painting, as long as it's not too big. You can get a diamond painting picture done in, you know, a weekend, sometimes a little more, depending on the size and how many gems there are on it. But I just kind of like that instant gratification. And I did a couple of pieces. I did one for my son for Christmas one year, a big owl, and had it framed, and it looks really neat. And yeah, so I've done a few, but it was when she mentioned that she did diamond painting, because I don't know many cross stitchers who actually diamond paint. There are some, but I don't know very many, and they certainly don't, you know, do videos on both. And many of them do. There are a few who do, like Rachel Ray and Stitcherista. They do both. And so anyways, she was watching a few YouTubes and on diamond painting, and like I mentioned, Stitcherista, she does both cross stitch and diamond paintings and some other art in her Flosstube, in her YouTubes now. And so Sarah was watching those and found the cross stitch and the Mirabilias and was like, ooh, what is that? And so then it was just all good from there. I wouldn't say it's downhill, or even a rabbit holes are good. Rabbit holes are fine. So then she stitches every day. She belongs to a couple of she belongs to a couple of Facebook groups. You know, those big ones that she belongs to some Facebook groups and does the challenges in there. And then she also does the sales. She does the same sales I do. And you know how I do sales? I don't. I buy them. But I don't do them in the sale time. And so she's doing like the Dark Queen by Autumn Lane Stitchery, and the Little Women series, and the what was the one before that? Goodness sakes, by the Sapphire Mountain Books, Sapphire Mountain Handicrafts on Etsy. She does this book series. And so Sarah's doing the same ones. And it's nice because I'm actually seeing them done, because I have not done them. And then she does all kinds of different patterns, like Hades, and she's very into the Owl Forest kits, which are beautiful. RETM. She's got just like a bunch of things to do. She also is part of WhipGo, so she shows her WhipGo pieces, and she has the same bag obsession that I do. All of her projects are in many bags, and they're really beautiful. And in fact, she mentioned one that I did not even know existed, and now I'm gonna have to go check out this seller. So because those bags are real pretty. Then this is why I kind of giggled, was one of her videos caught my eye because it was called the Mirabilia Incident. And I laughed over it because I have done the exact same thing. She talks about it towards the end. And I've done the exact same thing in my carts. I've had it in the cart and it's gone out of my cart, and I've pouted a little because I'm like, how dare you buy? Or I've forgotten to buy the bees or some element to the Mirabilia because I've gotten so excited. I'm just click, click, click and make sure I don't lose anything because, you know, FOMO. And so I kind of giggled. But she has gone down the Mirabilia rabbit hole too. She's got some beautiful patterns. And then Sarah is part of the 1000 sub club. There's I don't want to call it a movement, but there's something out there in the Flosstube world that is trying to get people who are very close to 1,000 subscribers to get them there, because once you do that on YouTube, you get some additional things once you hit that level of being able to honestly, I don't even know what they are because I guess I don't utilize them, but I guess you can make a story, or I don't know. But anyways, there's perks once you hit that goal. And so Sarah is very, very close to that goal. So let's get her up and over that 1,000 sub club. So she's very enjoyable. She's got a lot of energy. She's very cute. She's always got a smile. And she's got a lot of stories, which I appreciate because I can stitch to her. Her videos are as long as mine are, sometimes an hour and a half, but I can stitch to it. So it's enjoyable. So, all right, you guys, that was a long video. I had a lot to say, sorry. I think that's it. My plans are, today is Mira Monday. So my Mira that I'm going to work on today, I'm just going to show you what my plans are, is Enchanted Mermaid. And she has not been brought out since last May, when I did Mira May last year for Mania. And that's what I have done in her. So progress today on Little Miss Enchanted Mermaid. I'm excited to get her done. And then WIPGO, 2 numbers were called in WIPGO. One of them is Frankenstein. My numbers are Frankenstein. And the other one is a Hands Across the Sea sampler. I think it's Anne. Is it Anne? Let me double check here. 12. Yeah, Anne Morrison, which was a Sal, and I did not do in Sal time. So actually both of these are Sals. Yeah, because my WIPGO is samplers and Sals, I remembered. And both numbers that were called this time were Sals. So I'm excited to get Anne Morrison started. She's all kitted up. She's ready to go. So 10 hours on her. And then, of course, I will continue on with my Reflections of Canada. And hopefully I can get Basket of Memories finished. And we'll see what else happens. Who knows? Continue painting. I got so many things to do, and babying my plants. So anyways, thank you so much for joining me. I apologize again for it being so long. I hope you all have a really wonderful week. And I'm hoping maybe on Sunday I will be back with a Stitch with Me. It's a little harder in the summer because weekends get, booked up with outside things and painting because the weather's good and that kind of stuff. So, but hopefully I will be able to do that. And if not, I will see you in 2 weeks. And I hope you all have a good one. Until then.